I don't know if I've ever seen, correct me if I'm wrong, training camp footage from the WNBA being hyped like NBA footage. You know, in the NBA, you see that footage out there all the time. And people are like, oh, yo, Ben Simmons can hit a jump shot. You know, that kind of thing. And I don't know if we've seen it before in the WNBA. So that's worth noting as far as the Caitlin Clark phenomenon and everything that's gone on around her, the buzz, the hype as she enters the WNBA, all those factors and facets of what's been going on. Because the Indiana Fever are putting it out on their social media because it's the wise thing to do. And you're now seeing people react to it in real time, like this video right here. And there's been other footage I've seen out there making the rounds online. There was the play with her and Aaliyah Boston from last week. But basically, it just goes to show you the anticipation for Caitlin Clark's debut is out of this world. And you've got more media covering the WNBA, covering her than ever before. I mean, here's some local media that obviously is getting caught up in the hype as well as they should be, right? I mean, that's the way it's going. Day 2 of Indiana Fever camp. Caitlin Clark, without question, elevates everyone around her. It's like, see what this looks like here. I haven't even seen this yet. Good pass. We're watching this for the first time together. Let me pop my polar seltzer. There's a two-man game, two-woman game right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Crossover, and there's that step back. I think that's what we just watched. Anyhow, you can see the hype build with every single highlight. About 12 seconds left in this video. Straight to the right, behind the back, pull up. There's the midi, which is the thing I think she needed to work on the most. And there you see it right there. So it just continues to add to what I've been saying, and that's that the WNBA is about to be on tilt. I'm not even sure there won't be more hype around the start of the WNBA season than there's been for the NBA playoffs thus far. And then on the other side of the equation, you've got the Angel Reese thing from last week. Kevin Zwicker, fan of the show, unpaid producer, says, haven't seen camp footage this hype since the first Miami Big 3 camp footage. Maybe that's the case too. I'm trying to think of training camp footage that I've seen that's been on this level, that's gotten this much burn and this much attention, right? Like, this is something else. It's just different. The anticipation is just different. I mean, much less for women's basketball, but I don't know if I've ever seen it in a long time on the men's side either. Maybe some Wembanyama, but I don't even remember Wembanyama. Was Wembanyama training footage like this getting burned? Honestly, was it? Like this Clark footage is right now? Did y'all see the Wembanyama stuff at the same level? I'm not sure I did. Not sure I did. And then there's the Angel Reese aspect of things, which is another proof positive point that the coverage and the attention around the league is just different than it's been before. Because, first of all, Angel Reese used the forum correctly. She had the right things to say. This is nothing about her or, a knock on her in any way, shape, or form. But here was Angel Reese's press conference.
Always looked up to so many great players in the WNBA, and now being able to see my name on the back of a jersey is amazing. And I haven't even made the team yet, obviously, but being able to just be in this moment and understanding what it means to be here, because everybody doesn't get this opportunity. And like I said, I'm not going to take this for granted. I want to come in and work hard every day and do whatever it takes. I don't want my spot taken.
So she looks like she's got the right mind state, of course. But the talk around Angel Reese's press conference was that it wasn't met with the same level of pomp and circumstance as Caitlin Clark's was. I mean, here was how Reese was introduced at her press conference versus all the attention we've already seen from Clark. Not that much media there. Doesn't look like they made too big a deal out of it. And, I don't know the circumstances around it in particular, but they definitely could have made a bigger deal about it. There's no question. Here's the thing. And this has been part of this conversation, and it's been a recurring theme in this conversation, which is that, like, Caitlin Clark is getting the attention at the expense of some of these other ladies. And Caitlin Clark, as I've maintained, is getting the attention because she's the best player and the most captivating player and all that. But I've also made the argument that the rising tide lifts all boats. And if you're a WNBA franchise, if you're the league itself, you want all of these players taking advantage of this. And so many people with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark think if you are propping up Caitlin Clark, you have a negative opinion about Angel Reese. And that ain't the case at all with me. I think Angel Reese is a star in her own right. She's just not as good at basketball as Caitlin Clark is. Very good basketball player. Very good. But she's a star. She has a star magnetism, a star charisma that you can't teach. And if I'm the Chicago Sky, I'm making a big deal about Angel Reese being a part of my organization and being a part of my team. I'm making a big deal. That's just me. Kim Kelly says, how was it for Cardosa? I don't know. I didn't go scour everything. But look, Reese is the second biggest star behind Caitlin Clark. Because in part, obviously, their interaction took the whole thing to another level. That shouldn't be, and that's incumbent on the organization. That's incumbent on the decision makers. That's incumbent on those people to make that happen. Because the fanfare is certainly there. And, you can't blame, everybody's looking for a finger to point at, like why certain people don't have shoes, why all these other things are going on. If the teams and the league itself aren't going to give these women the proper attention and that proper red carpet, if you will, then nobody else is going to follow suit. So I do firmly believe that Caitlin Clark is the driving force behind the attention in women's basketball. But what do? You capitalize on that. You capitalize on that. You can build up your legends as a result. Hey, you're new to the WNBA? Here's what Sue Bird did. Here's what Diana Taurasi did. Here's, what Candace Parker, who just retired, did. You could do that. Obviously, you want to build the next generation. I did a show on that last week. Here's what Paige Beckers is going to do. Here's what Juju Watkins is going to do. You could do that. But, Angel Reese is right there for you. Angel Reese is right there for you. So, I think that was a missed opportunity.